If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
All right.
Barry's on the clock. Go ahead, Barry Barnes.
Okay, thanks a lot. All right, well, thank y'all right now for tuning in to listening to another hometown kid from East Baltimore. It feels good to actually talk to you. Actually, right now, I feel like I'm in a barbershop and we talking. And in the barbershop in Baltimore City, the main thing is always talked about is basketball. And I know we don't have an NBA team, but for the most part, in the city, there are basketball fans. And basketball fans really don't hear too much about the NBA stuff. But I'm going to give you a little bit of what I know as far as this season. Like I said, I covered the Wizards, of course. They only won 18 games. You know, everybody predicting at least 20, so they still have a chance to get at least 2 more. When you lose 60% of your starting lineup, you know, and your best player, Gilbert Arenas, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to lose, basically. You're going to definitely going to lose. Have a bunch of young guys on there that's trying to find their way, you know, to trade early in the season. You know, getting Mike James and Javarius Crenton. You know, was good moves. You know, they was able to get Antonio Daniels out to go to New Orleans so that he can be able to help out a team that's trying to get over the hill, so they can try to win a title. So that was a good move there. So, but as far as this year with the NBA, the biggest talk is the MVP race. So last week I talked to LeBron, I talked to Dwayne Wade, and they pretty real good, humble guys, and they really not looking at it towards as an individual year, although they would like to have it. Dwayne Wade is just happy to be able to come back, you know, full strength, so that he can be able to help his team get to the playoffs. But he do want a little, you know, some little payback, you know, prove people wrong, because, you know, he definitely have a huge chip on his shoulder, you know, major part with him winning the gold medal this year over for the Olympics over in Belgium. So that was good on my fault in Beijing. I apologize for that. But it was good for him to come back, and he's happy about this season. But unfortunately, it's really a 2-man race. It comes down to the best player in the world, Kobe Bryant. You know, I know we got a lot of Kobe haters here, but that's all right. You know, the man can play ball. So just look into your heart and just say to yourself that this man is really good. LeBron James is a freak of nature. He's all 6'9". Most of the guys you meet in person, when they say they 6'4", 6'2", when you meet them, I talk to these guys from eye to eye, so that's a shock in itself. But at the same time, it's amazing because of the simple fact that for the things they're able to do for that size, you know, it's truly remarkable. So it's a good thing, you know, with this year with the MVP race. But I really see LeBron James pulling out the end, and that's my take, you know, with that. And as far as with the playoffs this year, I know, you know, people looked at the Celtics probably repeating, and everybody looked for Andrew Bynum to come back with the Lakers. But, you know, hands down, if they wind up getting if they wind up getting the home court, most likely they probably win the whole title this year. I don't see nobody stopping. Plus, Andrew Bynum coming back last night with 16 points, you know, 7 boards. You know, that he's definitely going to be a star in the league. But now, since we're switching back a little bit to Baltimore over here with the Ravens and draft next week, I know everybody want to hear more about that. And this year, as far as from my standpoint, looking for the Ravens, that I know they need a blocking tight end. You know, with them signing, you know, L.T. Smith for the year, it kind of helps out a little bit for us having another player. But him, Ty Heat, and Sanuski, one of the things they all have in common is they have been injured. So if they get a blocking tight end, probably like a guy like James Casey from Rice, you know, he probably, you know, go in the second round. He's one of the best blockers as far as tight ends coming out in this draft. And if you get a tight end that can block, it will, you know, alleviate some pressure off of Ty Heat, so he can get out in space and catch the ball, because that's where he's at best at. And a lot of fans was actually crying the blues last season why he couldn't, you know, catch a pass and he wasn't producing. Well, if you watch the games like I did, you know, the offensive coordinator had him on the line to block to help out our young superstar. And the best thing about this draft this year, we don't need a quarterback. So that's the best part. So I believe that we set for another good 10 years with him. The first round, I know they would like to get, you know, the kid from out of Oklahoma State, but the big thing is that we need a wide receiver. And I know everybody want, you know, the hometown kid, Haywood Bay, to come, but I believe that, you know, Hakeem Nicks from North Carolina, you know, he's much better, you know, receiver in my book. A lot of times when Maryland played big-time teams, it wasn't Haywood Bay's fault, but it seemed as though the ball was never thrown to him. Another thing I think the Ravens need is another, you know, good solid pass rusher. Jason Williams from Western Illinois, very fast, 6'1", 241, which, you know, he actually can get, you know, to the pass, you know, to the passer a lot. But my favorite one is Tyrone McKenzie from out of South Florida. I watched this kid a lot last year. He was on ESPN a lot, and one of the things he did was always get to the quarterback. That's my time. I thank you so much.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.